you.
All right, move. Don't play with her.
Carlissa.
Right now, don't touch her.
Right.
You can't touch her.
Right.
You can't touch him. I'm the only one with the footage of her and Jaidyn about the fight. I'm the only one with the footage of her attacking the security guard. I'm the only one with the footage of my son really just trying to be the peacemaker in the whole situation.
Factual.
Why you lying? Why you trying to lie? What are we doing here, bro? What, a beef on live or what? What? Don't say don't beat me up.
Please.
What?
Please don't be.
So you trying to be weird?
I'm not.
Bro, I will leave you in here and nobody, like, you could, like, what do you mean? Nobody wanna fight you?
Don't hurt me, please.
Why are you trying to play?
Security guard, press charges. Press charges on her for scratching you and biting you under the camera at the place. That was the evilest I've ever seen anybody do on somebody's first day out, and I done seen some evil.
Don't go like that. You can't pull up to somebody's house trying to get cracking.
I thought it was kind of boo.
And then
Okay, but yeah.
get the pregnant parents. You should have stayed home.
She lucky I'm talking about her right now. With him.
I'm your daddy now.
But last night,
Just feel like yesterday.
and it's crazy because I should have
What began as a few petty comments online and light family jabs turned into something far more intense than anyone expected. A normal outing with relatives suddenly exploded into a loud public fight, with cameras recording everything, kids standing nearby, and confusion spreading across the room. Blueface had just been released from jail, and all the issues that had been building up around him finally reached their breaking point. Carlissa made it obvious she supported Jaidyn completely, and she didn't hold back when it came to criticizing Chrisean. She questioned her parenting, threw indirect shade, and made her loyalty clear every time she spoke. But the moment Chrisean appeared without an invitation, the situation flipped from tense to physical within seconds. People had their phones out, security was rushing around, and what was meant to be a small welcome back moment for Blueface became one of the most chaotic scenes this family has ever dealt with. And the fight wasn't even the biggest shock. Talk started spreading about DNA tests, paternity questions, and private family issues that pushed the drama even further. As this story unfolds, it becomes clear how family problems, the internet, and old bitterness combined into trouble that's nowhere close to ending. Ever since Blueface walked out of jail, things inside his family have been anything but calm. Carlissa made no attempt to hide her opinions. She stood with Jaidyn every step of the way and couldn't resist sending small jabs toward Chrisean. She questioned how she was caring for her child, threw hints about baby Junior, and made sure everyone knew where she stood. But Chrisean didn't just sit back and take it. She began showing up out of nowhere, going live on social media, and making sure her presence was impossible to ignore, especially when Jaidyn and the kids were around. What looked like harmless family moments were actually moments filled with silent tension, with both sides waiting for the smallest spark to ignite a blow-up. People watching online noticed everything. Each live stream, each short comment, each dramatic look, viewers picked it all apart. Carlissa had already suggested that baby Junior might not even belong to Blueface, and Chrisean's sudden appearances only made the situation worse. Anyone who had followed this family for even a short time could see a major confrontation approaching. It wasn't just years of arguments, it was also the small power moves, the accusations, the social media games, and the unwritten lines everyone kept crossing. Chrisean went to gatherings without being asked. Carlissa openly showed her disapproval, and the kids were stuck in the center of it all. The tension felt like a time bomb waiting to explode, and once it did, there was no turning back. The signs were there for months, but nobody thought the meltdown would happen so loudly, right in front of so many people. Everything boiled over at the arcade. It was supposed to be a simple family hangout. Instead, it turned into the moment everything fell apart. Chrisean arrived unexpectedly, making sure everyone noticed her entrance. Phones went up instantly, flashes went off, and she even went live while the kids were in the frame. It wasn't just bold, it felt like she was pushing the situation on purpose, and Carlissa wasn't about to ignore it. She confronted Chrisean right away, telling her to stop recording or deal with the consequences. But Chrisean refused to step back. She started trying to shape the story, claiming Carlissa was being unfair and trying to keep baby Junior away from his father. Carlissa fired right back, saying Chrisean wasn't there out of concern. She was there to watch them, follow them, and stir trouble. Then everything escalated in an instant. People near the family say Chrisean suddenly moved toward Carlissa, and the tense argument turned physical in moments. Phones captured everything while security tried to pull people apart, and the rest of the family stepped in to stop things from getting worse. What began as online shade had now turned into a real fight. Everyone in the arcade stopped to watch, and no one knew how far the conflict would go. This moment was just the first step in a series of events that included more fights, shocking claims, and threats that would take things even further. And when it seemed like things might calm down, someone else got involved. And that made everything explode again. Just when the situation already seemed out of control, Jaidyn stepped forward and the entire place erupted. According to people who were there, Chrisean went at Carlissa with so much force that Jaidyn had no choice but to react. In a split second, he jumped in to defend his mother, and witnesses say he knocked Chrisean out. The entire arcade went silent. Phones kept rolling, kids were still present, and suddenly the entire outing turned into complete disorder. This wasn't just a small fight, this was a full conflict between two sides that had been clashing for months. Chrisean has always been known for reacting quickly and standing her ground, but this time she ran into someone who wasn't willing to back down either. Security struggled to keep people apart, shouting filled the room, and people watching the live stream couldn't believe what they were seeing. It was no longer simple family problems. It had become a public showdown with real consequences. But even that wasn't the whole story. The physical fight was just the surface. There were deeper problems happening behind the scenes. Rumors that had been spreading for months, questions about paternity, and private family issues that only added more fuel to the fire. Just as people thought the situation couldn't twist any further, Carlissa threw out another huge claim about baby Junior. The rumor had been floating around that Chrisean's ex, Ronnie, who tragically passed away earlier this year, might actually be the father.
Nobody wishing evil on him. I'm saying what's going to happen to you after you try to hurt me. Play with me. Disrespect me. Try to embarrass me. Ruin my witness to God. You can't do none of that. Y'all can't do that. What the hell? Y'all can't do that without getting a consequence, bro. I don't care. That's the observation. Every time somebody really played with me, always get hurt, bro. And I never hurt them. Straight up. So I'm giving a warning. Just like how that... See, look, people like that, they deserve to be in a grave or in jail.
Just when people thought the chaos couldn't get more complicated, Carlissa didn't hesitate to bring it up again. She claimed she had access to a DNA sample and intended to use it to settle the question once and for all. The internet erupted instantly. Everyone online had an opinion. Some people said Carlissa was only trying to protect the family. Others felt she went too far and was using a child's identity as part of her personal arguments. Meanwhile, Chrisean was already dealing with the public pressure, the fight at the arcade, and the non-stop drama with Jaidyn and Carlissa. Adding paternity rumors on top of everything else pushed the situation into even harsher territory. The mix of paternity talk, online arguments, and months of tension pushed everything into a breaking point. Each live stream, each comment, and each update only made the situation louder. Anyone watching could tell this wasn't just a family disagreement anymore. It had become something bigger, where private issues, public reputation, and fragile relationships were all tangled together. And even though rumors and DNA questions were already hanging over them, the emotional toll on everyone was just beginning to show. What came next revealed the private struggles behind all the noise, giving people a closer look at what each person was dealing with. Behind the chaos, Chrisean's side of the story showed a more vulnerable layer. She talked openly about her pregnancy, the fear she went through, and the guilt she carried. She admitted she made serious mistakes early on, such as drinking because she was scared and confused, and even thinking about ending the pregnancy. But everything shifted when she saw the first ultrasound. Seeing her son's tiny features and listening to his heartbeat changed her outlook completely. Motherhood hit her hard. She tried to explain the complicated blend of love, anxiety, and responsibility she felt while raising a baby in the middle of a family situation already full of conflict. She said that once she bonded with Junior, she felt a strong urge to protect him, no matter what obstacles were in the way. But even with that connection, she couldn't escape the non-stop attention, criticism, and fights that followed her everywhere. Her emotional admissions added a new dimension to the story. While the internet focused on fights and viral clips, many missed the human side behind her actions. Her choices weren't just for drama or views. They came from fear, regret, and a real need to keep her child safe, even though everything around her made that incredibly difficult. But even with these heartfelt moments, the conflict didn't slow down. Personal pain mixed with public drama created a storm that kept getting worse. Soon, Carlissa's posts and accusations pushed Chrisean into even more reactive behavior, and everything spiraled further out of control. Once the fight and paternity accusations went public, social media turned into the main battleground. Carlissa began going live repeatedly, accusing Chrisean of watching their every move and stirring trouble on purpose. She claimed Chrisean was provoking Jaidyn and trying to insert herself into the family at the worst moments. People watching these live streams saw a pattern of claims, reactions, and heated messages that kept the feud alive. Chrisean hit back every time. Each post and each comment brought a response, and the back and forth gained thousands of viewers. Carlissa even used religious messages in her rants, which sparked debate online. Some viewers believed she was using faith to justify her attacks, while others thought she crossed a boundary by turning religion into part of the feud. This wasn't harmless online drama. The live streams and comments created real consequences. It felt like people were watching a war unfold in real time, with both sides taking shots every hour. The tension grew so fast that by the time police were involved, the situation had already gone far beyond a family argument. One thing became obvious: this was now a public crisis. Lines between personal problems and online spectacle were completely blurred, and no one knew where it would end. Then the consequences finally hit. During one of the messy confrontations, Chrisean was accused of attacking a security guard. The moment was caught on camera, showing security trying to restrain her as the situation spun out of control. Carlissa said she was no longer willing to stay quiet and insisted charges should be filed. That moment marked a turning point. The feud had now entered legal territory. This wasn't about who insulted who anymore. It had turned into a situation involving law enforcement, threats of arrest, and the real possibility of jail time. People watching from their phones couldn't believe how far things had gone. What started as online shade and small confrontations had grown into something with serious consequences. Every move Chrisean made was now being watched, judged, and replayed for the world to see. This phase showed exactly how high the stakes had become. It wasn't just entertainment for viewers. These were real actions with real outcomes, and the entire family was caught in the middle of it. After everything, the fights, the accusations, the legal threats, the family drama surrounding Blueface reached an entirely different level. Everyone had taken a side. Carlissa stood firmly with Jaidyn. Chrisean seemed more isolated than ever, and the children were caught in the middle of grown-up battles they had nothing to do with. Social media only kept the fire going. Each post, live stream, or reaction gave people more to talk about and kept the conflict circulating across the internet. The situation was no longer just a messy family story. It was a public spectacle with millions watching. Rumors about DNA, angry online messages, and clashes that turned physical left the family divided and fans wondering what could possibly happen next. Chrisean now faced legal trouble. Carlissa continued positioning herself as the one protecting the family, and Jaidyn showed he wasn't afraid to step in when things turned violent. People following the story online had the same question: will the drama die down, or is something even bigger coming? With each new clip, each emotional rant, and each unexpected appearance, it became clearer that this feud wasn't close to being resolved. Trust had been broken, boundaries had been crossed, and the fight for control, including control over the kids, was only getting stronger. And behind all the noise, there were still real emotions at play. Beneath the arguing and viral footage were people dealing with fear, frustration, love, and regret. This whole situation wasn't just about who said what online. It was about a family struggling with loyalty, resentment, and choices that kept piling up. And as things continue unfolding, one thing is obvious: this is far from the end. Every post, every reaction, and every confrontation keeps adding fuel to a fire that isn't slowing down anytime soon.